opportunity to watch her tenacity as she would take on individuals and institutions and systems for the inclusion of persons with disabilities, and I looked at that, and when I say she took it seriously, that's with a capital S, and it impacted me in my work with the criminal justice system and the folks embroiled therein. My favorite all-time story, and the only person that tells this story better than I do, was Dick Seary. Mm-hmm. But it had to do with the day that Doris and her teammates, her staff partners, had been for months trying to get an audience with the folks at the county commissioners and the city council around public transportation, trying to make public transportation accessible and trying to make public buildings accessible. Going down to a council meeting and had sit there and, was unable to get an audience. And so, no attention paid to them whatsoever. And so they were on their way back, and Doris was disgusted but determined. And so it's 5 o'clock, Cleveland, downtown Cleveland, in the middle of rush hour. Doris whips and pulls her wheelchair right into the middle of public square. And there are 4 or 5 other people with her at the same time. They pull their wheelchair in the public square. You got a traffic jam, the nature of it being indescribable. Folks, they're calling the police, they're calling officials, and folks are running. Nobody knows what's going on. And so finally, the folks from City Hall come over and say, well, what's going on here? What is this all about? And Doris tells them, we've been trying to get a meeting with you folks for so long. You've been ignoring us. What's the meeting about? She tells them, we're looking for public transportation. So they said that we will meet with you in the morning. Would you please unblock this traffic? And so they had they did have the meeting, and subsequently now you get on public transportation. Every public transportation is accessible. That was the result of that tenacity from Doris, her colleagues at LEAP, and for LEAP, that they stood for actually making a difference. Sustainable, substantial, robust difference in the way we live our lives to this very day. And this was the woman that I sit by and who typed with a typing stick. And when she was inducted Hall of Fame for persons with disabilities. So from sitting at her desk and going all the way to making it all the way to the heights of recognition for justice, being justice seeking and being an advocate and working with that organization there is probably my favorite story of Doris Brennan.
Probably the first couple of years working mostly at home, only coming in for some kinds of meetings, to establish a board and to get those kinds of things going. But I always heard about this group of people. And to be honest, I was a little bit scared to death of them. That was you all. I was really intimidated because the accolades about this group of people that didn't back down, but weren't mean about it. They weren't hurtful in their approach to people. And that's probably one of the things that I admired most and took from Doris, is that it's okay to be as assertive as you need to be. And you could push it just a little past that once or twice, but to not back down, but also to be quiet when I didn't know what I was talking about. And I think in the whole arena of people with disabilities, I didn't know what I was talking about. I shouldn't have been talking. And so to be able to listen to you all clearly articulate and take a stand and move on from there to make things better for people, I was just, besides intimidated, kind of in awe. I hope and pray that LEAP remains the organization that I have no doubt, if a question needs to be answered in an employment situation, in a housing situation, somebody who needs services, I don't hesitate, and I don't want to have to hesitate ever to say, to not think, oh, we'll just call LEAP, because they know these things. Mm-hmm. I think one of LEAP's greatest benefits to the community, the awareness that you offer to people who are listening and who are willing to listen, some hard truths, some education, and then moving on with the same kind of welcomeness, I want that always to be the leap that we can send people to.